Very good afternoon. Now, will the ruling Congress retain its hold on Karnataka, or will the BJP wrest power to form the government? Well, voting for a new state assembly is underway at the moment, and our reporters are on the ground to cover voting. Well, that's a big story through the day today on Rajya Sabha television. First up, the headlines. 24% votes cast till 11 a.m. as Karnataka votes across 222 constituencies. Enthusiasm among old and first-time voters as they seal the fate of bigwigs of the Congress, BJP and JDS by 6 p.m. today. Prime Minister's faith diplomacy in Nepal after Janakpur on Friday visits the Muktinath and Pashupatinath temples today. Underlines India's backing for a united, prosperous and strong Nepal during talks with his counterpart. India and Peru mark 55 years of diplomatic ties. Lima backs permanent UNSC membership status for India. Both the nations call for a united global fight to combat menace of terror. CRPF jawan killed and a civilian injured in gunfight between militants and security forces in Pulwama in Jammu and Kashmir. Militants flee spot taking advantage of dark. Operation called off in the morning. And Manu Atri and Sumit Reddy to play their men's double semi-finals at the Australia Open Badminton in Sydney today to take on Indonesian challengers after beating compatriots in the quarterfinals. First up, all the news and updates from Karnataka. All right, our top story is the assembly elections in Karnataka, and about 24% polling was today recorded till 11 a.m. in the state, which is witnessing a three-cornered contest among the ruling Congress, the BJP and the JDS. Voting for 222 seats began at 7 in the morning and it will go on till 6 p.m. While BJP's chief ministerial candidate EBS Yediyurappa was among the first to cast a vote in Shikaripura. Karnataka Chief Minister Siddaramaiah also cast his vote. JDS H.D. Kumaraswamy also cast his vote along with his wife in Ramanagara. Former Prime Minister H.D. Devegowda along with his wife cast their votes in Hassan district this morning. Senior citizens came out in good numbers and stood in queues to cast their votes early. Many popular faces and prominent personalities were also seen in queues at the polling booths. Meanwhile, there were also reports about a delay in polling due to some technical issues from different parts of the state. Election for the Jayanagar seat in Bengaluru has been countermanded following the death of the BJP candidate there. The Election Commission has also deferred the polls for Raja Rajeshwari Nagar constituency to 28th of May following the voter ID card row. Around 4.96 crore voters, are eligible to cast their votes. Over 2,600 candidates are in the fray and more than 2,400 men and over 200 women. As many as 585 companies of the central forces have been deployed to ensure incident-free polling.
Get the clear majority. There is no doubt on this. There is no confusion on this. We are very, very confident. Congress party will come back to power with clear majority. I cast my vote. Shikaripura. I am going to get 50,000 margin.
JDS position and my position is totally in comfortable position. I am not bothered about whether the survey report is favor to me or not. I don't.
वोट तो देना सबका फर्ज है और it is their duty. All people should participate और लोग इलेक्शन में चुनाव में इंटरेस्ट लेना चाहिए.
Yeah, I'm still learning actually. I'm new to politics. I have a lot to learn, but I hope I will meet the expectations of the people.
All right, let's get the ground report. My colleague Kriti Mishra is joining us live from Chamundeshwari in Mysuru. We also have with us Ravindra Singh Shuran, who's joining us live from Shikaripura in Shimoga. First, coming to you, Kriti, you are at one of the Sakhi booths that have been set up for the first time in an election in Karnataka. These pink booths being managed only by women officers. So tell us how much enthusiasm has been generated due to these booths, and also give us an update on the voting percentage, if any.
Well, Aishwarya, certainly this was for the first time in Karnataka that the Election Commission has set up pink booths. 600 such booths were set up in the state, and 24 specifically being in Mysuru to motivate women voters, even where the polling personnel, even the security personnel were women, to ensure that women feel free in that environment. So certainly that is garnering a lot of interest, and people are coming out in huge numbers. And right now I am in one of the polling booths where you can see that brisk polling is taking place. You can see that people are queuing up to exercise their franchise. Remember, Aishwarya, urban apathy has been one of the major issues for the administration that has perturbed it since a very long time. In fact, in 2013, there were several constituencies, urban constituencies in Bengaluru, where the voter turnout was less than, in fact, 50%. So this time the Election Commission has taken several steps to boost and motivate voters. In fact, Chamundi Hills in Mysuru, that was completely lit and illuminated by a message that read, "Each vote counts." And not only the Election Commission, Aishwarya, if you go around today in some of the restaurants in Mysuru, and if you just show your finger with a delible ink mark on it, you might just as well get a free dosa or free Wi-Fi. So certainly that entire motivation campaign is on, and we are seeing that impact on the ground here. The last figure, the authentic figure that we got from the Election Commission was around 25%, and in Mysuru, the voter turnout is 30%. So by the evening, the Election Commission expects this number to increase. Remember, in 2013, the voter turnout was around 70%. And even if the status quo is maintained or the percentage increases, that will have huge electoral ramifications for the political parties.
Yes.
And by evening, we'll have an explicit picture, and we can then analyze what benefit will each party get out of the voter turnout in Karnataka. Over to you, Aishwarya.
Right, let's go to my colleague Ravindra Singh Shuran, who is in Shimoga right now. Ravindra, you are at one of the crucial seats that really hold the key to the battle of Karnataka election this year, because of course Yediyurappa is fighting the battle from here. Give us the ground report, and is there any update on the voting percentage?
Yeah, Aishwarya. From the Shimoga, we have the last information which we received is more than 34% of votes has already been cast till the 12 o'clock today. See, this constituency, Shikarpur, is one of the most important constituencies, one of the most looked after constituency. This constituency, Shikarpur has been represented by the family or Mr. Yediyurappa himself since 1983, barring one time. So, and this time he has already been announced the chief ministerial candidate, so all eyes are here in the Shikarpura. Mr. Yediyurappa, he casted his vote early in the morning at 7 o'clock. He was the first voter to come, and he casted his vote at the Taluka polling booth of Shikarpura at 7 o'clock in the morning with all his family members. See, we have seen the information which we have received so far is that there are 3 incidents, untoward incident, which I would like to share with you. First incident in the Ramnagaram constituency where 50,000 cash was seized by the Election Commission officials. That money was supposed to be distributed among the voters, but still it has not been clear that which party was it meant for, basically. The second is 3 auto rickshaws has also been seized by election officials. These auto rickshaws were used by some political parties to transport the voters from one place to other. The third one is one corporator of the BJP was thrashed by some unknown miscreants. And these, barring these 3 untoward incidents, election is going on completely peaceful here in this Karnataka, all 222 constituencies, and no other incident of violence or any untoward incident has been reported so far.
All right,
this election is, the Election Commission has tried a lot of new avenues, and they have tried to woo the voters, the first-time voters, the senior citizens, the female voters. As we have mentioned that 600 pink polling booths has also been set up this time. Model polling stations has also been established. And after the 2 elections, the elections of the 2 assemblies has already been countermanded. especially
Right,
after
so
in
by
Bengaluru
11 a.m., close to 24% voter turnout is the figure that we have at the moment. Of course, the state is voting to elect a new assembly. This is a three-cornered contest. There is the BJP, Congress and all. Obviously, there is the HD Devegaura's JDS also in this battle. Thank you so much, Ravindra and Kriti, for joining us and giving all those updates there. And now let's get you all the news from Nepal, where Prime Minister Narendra Modi is going to conclude his two-day visit. All right, so Prime Minister Narendra Modi today visited the Pashupatinath temple and also the Muktinath temple in Nepal. The Prime Minister had begun his Friday visit to Nepal from Janakpur, where he visited the Janki temple. He reiterated India's age-old historic ties with Nepal during his address at a civic reception there. Today, he also met with the leaders of various political parties in Nepal. And earlier on Friday, Prime Minister Modi held delegation-level talks with his Nepalese counterpart in Kathmandu, where the two leaders reiterated their commitment to take relations forward on the basis of equality and mutual trust. The two leaders also insisted that connectivity will be the thread that will not only bring the two neighbors together, but will also lead to the development of both the nations.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi has underlined the role of connectivity not only for development of both India and Nepal, but for bringing the two neighbors together. This was the key outcome of the talks between Modi and his Nepalese counterpart KP Sharma Oli in Kathmandu yesterday. PM Modi strongly backing his Nepalese counterpart's vision to transform the landlocked Himalayan nation into a land and water-linked country. PM Modi highlighting that road, rail, power transmission lines are giving impetus to connectivity. The two PMs jointly laid the foundation stone of the 900-megawatt Arun 3 hydroelectric power plant in Tumlingtar area in eastern Nepal through a remote system, saying it was one of the best projects in Nepal and would generate jobs.
नेपाल लैंडलॉक न रहे बल्कि लैंड लिंक्ड और वाटर लिंक्ड हो। हम प्रधानमंत्री ओली जी के इस विजन को साकार करने में हर संभव सहायता और प्रयास करने के लिए प्रतिबद्ध है। हमारे कृषि मंत्री शीघ्र ही मिलेंगे और कृषि अनुसंधान, कृषि शिक्षा और कृषि विकास में सहयोग के लिए रोड मैप तैयार करने पर काम करेंगे।
PM Modi made the remarks at a joint press meet after a one-on-one meeting with Oli, which was followed by marathon delegation-level talks, during which the two sides held extensive discussions on all aspects of bilateral relationship. Prime Minister Narendra Modi also saying that India supports a united, prosperous and strong Nepal. KP Sharma Oli expressed a desire to create a strong relationship underpinned by mutual trust, so that it is not affected by any occasional or intermittent differences that are natural between two neighbors. He was referring to the strain in bilateral ties due to 6-month-long agitation by the Madheshi community, following adoption of a new constitution in September 2015. He added that the two sides have agreed to address all matters by September 19th, that is Nepal's Constitution Day.
Our two countries are independent, interdependent in many ways. Hence, peace, stability and prosperity in one contribute to the achievement and maintenance of the same in the other. We also agreed to take concrete measures to realize the benefits of new partnership for agriculture and connectivity by rail links and inland waterways.
Prime Minister Modi also said the agriculture ministers of the two sides will soon meet and start work on a roadmap for agriculture research, agricultural education and agricultural development. Modi also hailed the 3 successful polls in Nepal after the promulgation of the new constitution in 2015.
नेपाल के साथ भारत के संबंध भी दो सरकारों के संबंध से भी कहीं ऊपर इसी प्रकार पारिवारिक है, मित्रतापूर्ण है और जन सामान्य के बीच आपसी मधुर और गहरे रिश्तों की मजबूत नींव पर खड़े हैं। फ्रेंड्स, मेरी यह नेपाल यात्रा एक ऐसे ऐतिहासिक समय में हो रही है जब नेपाल में फेडरल, प्रोविंशियल और लोकल तीनों स्तर पर चुनावों का सफल आयोजन हो चुका है।
Prime Minister Narendra Modi is visiting the neighbouring country for the 3rd time in 4 years. It is the first high-level visit from India since the formation of a new government in Nepal this year.
The meetings between Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Nepal's Prime Minister KP Sharma Oli will be considered memorable in the history of India-Nepal relationship. While on the one hand, the meetings have ensured that there should be no place for misunderstanding between the two countries, it has also ensured that there should be partnership on all levels between the two. It will be interesting to see that how things evolve in the coming days when Nepal gets a good neighbor and India also gets a good neighbor. Akhilesh Suman for Rajya Television with camera person DK Pandey and Manoj Kumar in Kathmandu.
Now news on Vice President Naidu's 3-nation Latin America visit. Well, India and Peru have signed an MOU on cooperation in renewable energy. The pact was signed after Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu held talks with the top leadership of Peru. The Vice President is on the last leg of his 3-nation tour to Latin America. He also addressed a gathering at the celebration of 55 years of the establishment of diplomatic relations between India and Peru in Lima. He called upon the two governments to further strengthen the cooperation for the prosperity and the well-being of the people of both the nations.
The Vice President has said that India and Peru have been enjoying cordial ties since 1963. He said that the relationship between the two countries has grown over the last 55 years.
That the visit is coincided with a special milestone in our diplomatic relationship and that a great future lies ahead for evolving, promising and mutually beneficial ties. I am happy since 1963. Government of India and the Government of Peru have been continuously strengthening the friendly ties which existed between the two countries. As we reflect 55 years of modern journey, it is worthwhile to recall those 5,000 years of rich history and heritage that our two countries have inherited by being cradles of ancient human civilization.
He also said that high-level political contacts and exchange of visits have been happening at certain frequency. He especially stressed on the contribution of the parliamentary friendship groups for friendly contacts.
The parliamentary friendship groups have contributed to the friendly contacts, knowing each other intimately, understanding each other's aspirations and problems and situations, learning from others' experience, following the good practices is always good for the development of any civilization.
Stressing that the two countries are natural partners with the mutual stake in each other's progress and prosperity, he said that the two nations are witnessing appreciable growth in trade and investment, saying it has gone up 7 times in the last decade. He counted the various reforms being undertaken in India.
Our fundamentals are strong. In fact, India has become the fastest growing, largest economy, and the Government of India has successfully launched several flagship programs such as Make in India, Startup India, Digital India, Smart Cities, implemented major reforms like GST.
He also said that India and Peru have reiterated that terror has no religion and that it should be fought unitedly globally.
We both believe that terrorism cannot be justified in any form for any reason or cause. Terrorism actually has no cause. It is madness. Terror has no religion. It has no color. But unfortunately, some people are trying to take cover under religion. The world community must realize this at the earliest. And we are of the view, I have conveyed it to your Honorable Excellency, the President of Peru in the morning, that the time has come that the United Nations must expedite the discussions on formulations of our approach towards terror and see to it that terror is eliminated everywhere.
At the event, the Vice President Naidu reiterated that distance, language and other challenges cannot dampen the natural affinity between the two nations.
India and Peru enjoy long-lasting cultural ties. Bharatanatyam and practice of yoga are very common in Peruvian cities.
The Vice President also reiterated that 55 years of diplomatic ties between the two countries is an important landmark and it was time to assess the achievements so far to chart out a clear course of action to realize the full potential. Rajkamal Rao's report for Rajya Sabha TV.
And here's our special report. India's startup ecosystem has seen a massive overhaul in the past few years as the government pushes for a robust startup environment. Now, with better taxation policies, easier methods of execution and easier access to loans, startups are scripting phenomenal success stories. And what is emerging is a youthful and tech-savvy entrepreneurial community. Here is a report. Take a look.
If you are a tea lover, you know making the perfect cup of tea is not everybody's cup of tea. But this humanoid robot has a solution for you. Meet Arya, world's first chai-making robot. Developed by young guns Akshay and Jayesh. The moment you say, "Hi Arya, make me my favorite cup of tea," and your tea is made with your precise flavor, as Arya is programmed to remember your perfect tea recipe.
Hi, my name is Arya. Do you have an order number?
Yes.
Both founders Akshay and Jayesh quit their lucrative jobs in 2017 for establishing their artificial intelligence-based venture, and today employ more than 150 workers in their innovative and successful startup.
हमने जब शुरुआत करी है तो चाहे वो रजिस्ट्रेशन था, चाहे वो पेटेंट था, सब कुछ हमें सीमलेस ही मिला प्रोसेस. हमें कोई ऐसी कोई दिक्कत नहीं आई. हमने पेटेंट्स भी अप्लाई करे हैं और हम लोगों ने स्टार्टअप के लिए भी, इंडिया के लिए भी, प्रोग्राम के लिए भी अप्लाई किया है और हमने कॉर्पोरेशन सेटअप करी है. हमने जो कुछ भी करा है उसमें इट वाज लाइक सीमलेस, सब कुछ ऑनलाइन था. देयर वाज नो लाइक प्रॉब्लम फॉर अस एंड इट वाज वेरी इजी फॉर अस टू मूव फॉरवर्ड विद दैट.
Meet Namami, 26-year-old Jammu girl who was fired from her job for overshooting authorized leaves. Namami then started Namami Life, a wellness startup in October 2016 that provides personalized nutritional coaching as per an individual's health goals and medical history. Her company is recognized as one of the 50 best wellness companies today for making a difference in the lives of many, and boasts of names like Miss World Manushi Chillar, cricketer Gautam Gambhir, and former Australian captain Michael Clarke in her clientele.
Government policies are doing wonders. There was this 50+ schemes that government came up last year. So there was this one particular scheme which I really liked, which was New Gen Innovation and Entrepreneur Development Scheme. This scheme focused on health sector unlike any other scheme. So this was the one which took my interest.
India's startup ecosystem is the fastest growing in the world. India has emerged as the third largest startup base, and such ventures are poised to more than double to reach 10,500 startups by 2020, employing over 210,000 people. India is in the third position, just behind the US and UK. More than $4 billion was invested in India startups during 2015-16, and investors look at domains like health tech, fintech and edutech. 72% of the founders are less than 35 years old, which makes it an unprecedented pool of young people. The government has floated at least 50+ sector-specific schemes for startups, like reduction in patent registration fees, freedom from tax, inspections and capital gain tax in first 3 years of operation, self-certification compliance and establishment of incubation centers.
Government has launched a number of schemes for the startups, and they want to encourage the people to be doing their own businesses, providing the jobs to the people rather than the job seeker. RSTV, being a partner in this very novel scheme, have also launched various schemes.
Startup India was first announced by Prime Minister Narendra Modi during his August 15, 2015 address from Red Fort.
हिंदुस्तान का कोई जिला, हिंदुस्तान का कोई ब्लॉक ऐसा ना हो कि आने वाले दिनों में नए स्टार्टअप शुरू ना हो.
A national policy framework for startups was launched in February 2016, called the Startup India Action Plan by Finance Minister Arun Jaitley, with a total corpus of 10,000 crore rupees. Since then, India's image as a startup nation is gaining momentum.
A survey has pointed out that 56% workers want to quit their jobs and start their own business because of India's growing entrepreneurial landscape. Economic goals are at the core of government policies, and with a slew of measures and programs, it is constantly building the right gateway for Indian startups to succeed. Reporting from Delhi, with camera person Shiv Kumar, I'm Kriti Mishra for Rajya Sabha Television.
That's all in this news bulletin, but news and updates continue on your channel. Thanks for watching.